So now really more than ever, a lot of us are looking at different ways to make money. Usually in a new side hustle, but maybe even sometimes as a new full-time hustle, especially because, let's be honest, in the last year, job security and really taking charge of your own income, getting educated in different mediums, and in this video, different apps, different niches that can help you make money has really been the thing that a lot of us have been trying to do here as we move into late 2021. So in this video, I specifically want to target you if you're looking at starting a new side hustle, trying to make some money and really making sure that you have enough revenue streams. And I've identified 13 questions that you really need to answer if you're looking to start a side hustle this year. So I want to welcome you to this video. Let me know where you're watching from in the live chat or the comment section. But hey, if this is the first time that you and I are meeting, my name is Mike, coming to you from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where I started my side hustle back in 2015 in the rideshare space. And honestly, since then, have worked in most every niche in this side hustle economy, in this gig economy, from rideshare, food delivery, parcel delivery, grocery, charging, scooters, basically the entire gambit. So firstly, I need you to let me know where you're watching from. And then secondly, what apps or niches are you interested in this year? And I want to welcome you to the team here. If you're a current subscriber, again, welcome back. And if you're not currently a team member, I invite you to join a team of over 50,000, reaching hundreds of thousands of hustlers, individuals like yourself every single month. But firstly, if we're just honest here, I always try to be honest with you. If you're watching this and you're kind of like, dude, why do I get to listen to you, man? Why do I get to listen to this guy? I'm looking at, my own side hustle here. Here's why. Because I always say that, hey, folks, again, being honest here, these apps aren't hard. Starting a side hustle specifically in the gig economy, it's not necessarily hard, right? Food delivery is not hard. Rideshare, in and of itself, the basics, it's not hard. But I always say that's what makes it hard. There's always going to be a bell curve of earners. And I want you to be in the top 15% of driver earners on whatever it is, right? I want you to be a top earner. That's my goal for you this year. And that is why you should invest in watching videos like this. And again, joining the team or sharing this out with someone who wants to start a side hustle this year as well. So number one, let's consider that you're looking at starting a side hustle this year. I'm going to ask you these questions. And if you can't answer these 13 questions, you're not prepared. In my opinion, you have to answer these 13 questions that we're going to go over today. Number one, what is your earnings goal? I just want to make some extra. No, what is your earnings goal, right? Your daily goal, your weekly goal, because I'm telling you, if you're driving without a goal in mind, you wouldn't work for a company and they're like, hey, I need you to work on the sales team. Okay, but just try your best, right? You're like, what? No, dude, give me some leadership, right? You need measurables. So I just grabbed a few earnings here, and you need to have the weekly goals. You need to have the daily goals. Again, why? Because you're using this money for something, right? You're supporting your family. Maybe you're saving up for a big purchase, a vacation, whatever it is, as we're, all starting to travel again, what have you. And without a goal, you're not going to care how much you make. And because of that, you're not going to care how you do it. It's going to hurt you in the long run. So there's something very powerful about just simply writing things down. Actually, what I would do is take out a sheet of paper right now, type it on your phone, whatever, and follow along and answer these questions. And I guarantee you at the end of this video, you'll have the framework to say, okay, now I'm loaded with the skills and the knowledge to succeed. Number one, what's your goal? Daily and weekly. Well, number two, Question that you have to answer if you're starting a side hustle on any of those niches. Okay, well, what is your availability like? Like, well, I do it when I'm free. All right, well, great. Well, when are you free? You have to actually answer these questions because, again, I'm taking you hopefully from a place of ambiguity, right? The bell curve of earners that are literally, by definition, going to do average to a top performer. I want you to be a top. I want you to make more than me, dude. I want you to crush it, right? And I see stories every day from team members like you watching this of stellar earnings. But if I asked you, all right, well, when are you available? Why does this matter? Well, let's say I'm free only in the mornings. Well, you may not know that Amazon Flex, the parcel delivery service, typically needs drivers for shifts starting at like 2 p.m. and later. That's when they're free, man. Okay, well, I'm free in the evening. Okay, well, I'm just telling you, it's going to be a lot harder to do rideshare, to do food delivery, maybe safety concerns. I'm talking not even from clients, but safety as far as navigating your business, driving on the road, trying to find a house or apartment complex to make a delivery, right? But that's when you're free. And different apps and different niches are really going to peak at different days, times, days of the week, and seasonality, folks, which I feel like is not talked about a lot. It's kind of ignored. For instance, we're rolling into Q4 here, coming up on Q4 here in 2021 at the time of filming this video. So you may not know that we might have a resurgence. Well, frankly, we're going to have a resurgence in the food delivery space, just based on seasonality. So let me know if you got a value in that. Definitely hit the like button. John and Nick, I see you in the early video here today. Dash Nation joining before the stream as well. So folks, definitely drop a like if you're getting value in this video so far. So our next question that you need to answer is, how much effort do you want to put in? Like literally, like your workload. I need to ask you, okay, well, great. You have your goal. I have your availability. So how hard do you want to work? Like literally. So I say this, half jokingly, because this is a very real thing. So here's a screenshot from Amazon Flex. It is their on-demand last mile delivery service where you can load up your vehicle, your personal vehicle, with packages. Clearly, right? Amazon. And you make deliveries. It's pretty chill. It's predictable pay. It's a flat pay, depending on the niche of the Flex platform. But like, dude, you're going to be making some stops and some starts on this route here. I'm just telling you, you're going to be getting in and out, going, to the homes, right? Going down the couple blocks to the apartment complex, delivering to a business, right? And you're going to have like probably 35 if you're lucky, but 35 to like 60 packages on this route. Did you also know that basically the minimum route is usually 3 hours? Maybe you can squeeze in for one that's an hour and a half, but these are things that you need to know. So can you invest 2 or 3 hours? Can you invest physically with carrying these packages in and out? That's just one app here, folks. So again, how much effort do you want to put in? So this is Instacart, looking at the grocery delivery space. So, look at all of the stores on the Instacart platform here in Pittsburgh. I did this for over 3 years in San Diego, California. And recently moved back in January, back here to my hometown in Pittsburgh. There's a lot of options here. So I pull up Instacart because now the workload is, all right. So think about rideshare, right? You literally don't have to get out of your vehicle, like basically ever, unless you're helping a customer with luggage for an airport run. So you're chilling in the vehicle for most time, but then you have to put effort into customer service, at least some communication, conversation with the customer. Okay. Well, food delivery, you have minimal, it's kind of like the inverse, right? You have minimal customer service and conversation with the customer. A lot of times none, because it's contactless, right? But you're not chilling in the car as much. You got to get in and out, restaurant, delivery. Maybe it's, I mean, dude, you can't dodge the weather, right? You know, it's raining, it's snowing. And if that's what it is, if you want to hustle, that's what you got to do. And then here again, let's make the point, right, dude? But here's the point. So with Instacarts, not only are you getting out of your vehicle, you're going into a grocery store, man, or one of these places, 7-Eleven, Aldi, Shop and Save, Costco. And you're shopping for the entire list of groceries, what have you. So here's the thing. And Ken, I see you in the video today. And folks, this is why you want to join live, because I can answer your questions live. So any jobs that you can do with kids, I would check with the terms of service with these apps, because I mean, a lot of these you can do with someone in your vehicle. I mean, food delivery being one of them. You're allowed to have someone in your vehicle. So in theory, yeah, you could do food delivery with kids. Now, technically, they can't participate in any part really in the delivery. So be mindful, but they can chill with you. They can be in the car. They stay with a spouse, a friend. I mean, Matt and I, my twin brother here in Pittsburgh, we do ride-alongs. We just, coach each other, and I ride with him. Amazon Flex, their terms of service state that someone can be in the vehicle with you at the, what do they call it? Terminal, hub, whatever it is. That's going to bother me now. Whatever it is, the hub where you load your vehicle with the packages. But they specifically say that person can help loading the vehicle. They can't help when you're actually in the field making deliveries as well. So just be mindful of that as well. Appreciate you being here. Let's move on to our next question here, folks. Today we're tackling 13 must-know questions, or you must, I guess, know the answers to those questions, rather, if you're starting a side hustle. And if you don't know these questions, in my opinion, you will be behind. Frankly, you won't make as much with some of this. You won't be as prepared. You're more prone to mistakes. And yeah, basically just that, in my opinion, since doing this since 2015. Our next question here. Question number 4. Are you willing to use your personal vehicle? I mean, this is tricky if you're a one-car household, or even if you have an extra vehicle, or, you have the ability to use your vehicle. Now we're thinking about things like wear and tear on your vehicle. That's something that's very relevant here that we have to think about. Well, maybe you don't. Let's say no. Okay, let me give you an example here. So let's say no, I don't really. Do you have anything for me that I don't have to use my personal vehicle? When it comes to food delivery, you can do food delivery on a scooter, on a bicycle, literally on a motorcycle, again, electric scooter. I'm thinking like physical, like manual scooter, but any of them. You can even on some of these apps do walking delivery. I don't really recommend that. But I challenge you this year to also think outside the box. What do I mean by that? What do you mean by that, dude? Affiliate income, right? Best Buy, Target, B&H Photo, Amazon Associates, if you have an audience and a platform, to make hundreds of dollars a month extra money with a semi-passive revenue stream that does not require a personal vehicle. For instance, my brother Matt is highlighting his new Tesla on a channel here on YouTube called Frunk to Trunk, Frunk, Frunk to Trunk. Go check it out if you're interested in the Model 3 and Tesla. But he's attaching affiliate income to that and is already in his first month on track to make, I'd say, $300+ in his first month with affiliate income. Nextly, let's just say, I don't want to use my personal vehicle. If you can teach something, anything, if you can teach something, if you can answer specific questions, you might have a home right here on YouTube, making hundreds, thousands, or maybe $10,000+ every single month without your vehicle. This hustle right here on YouTube, folks. And if you're interested in that, how to dominate here on YouTube, how to make the most money possible, how I have built a 6-figure business centered around YouTube, go subscribe to Your Driver Mike Creates. It is a new channel right now, but once that gets off and running, we'll be teaching you how to dominate right here on YouTube. So absolutely, There's hustles. And I encourage you, can we just step back here a second? I encourage you and I challenge you, we haven't really mentioned this before, to build revenue streams that do not require your vehicle. Let me say that again. I've been doing this for a while, thousands of trips and transactions. I encourage you to try to build revenue streams that do not require your vehicle. I would have it right in your arsenal because you should have 4, 5, 6 different revenue streams. But if you can add selling a product or service, YouTube, Twitch income, royalties, if you're a producer for music, whatever, if you can license out photography and get royalties from photography, from stock photography and video, from the affiliate income. See, there you go. Now you're building 4, 5, 6 revenue streams. Because you can only be at one place at one time with that personal vehicle. I think you get it here, but let's move on to our next question. So nextly, I'm going to ask you, all right, well, how long do you want to work for? Like literally, how long do you want to work for? Let me give you an example here. So here is actually a profile screenshot from Matt, my brother. I don't know, a while ago, right? He was saving for an engagement ring. This is on Uber Eats. This is what we call the profile, the driver profile screen hack, right? Profile screen hack, whatever you want to call it here. Well, you'll go into your profile and you'll put an emotional appeal, an ethos appeal to an emotion, right? So he put, I'm saving for an engagement ring. Then he kind of put a little, shoulder. He's like, come on, man, help me out a little bit, right? It's an ethos appeal. That's what we call the profile screen hack. So if I'm asking you, well, how long do you want to work for? Maybe like Matt in this example, maybe you're saving up for a singular, I want to save up for a singular purchase, dude, or, the vacation, what have you. So is there an end goal? I want to do this. It's not that serious for me. I want to do it for like a month or like 3 months. Or, I've heard from you that, I've heard comments like, dude, I'm trying to pay down credit card debt, which is fantastic because you're literally getting on you're hustling to accelerate a liability. So good for you if you're doing that. School loans, whatever it is. But again, to get out from under debt, that's fantastic. So, I need to ask you, how long do you plan on doing this? Have an end goal in mind. So nextly, is this going to be a side hustle or a full-time hustle for you? So why do I ask this? Think about this. I'm just going to assume, if you're using your vehicle for these side hustle apps, the gig economy, because a lot of them do require your personal vehicle, how long can you keep that up? Like numbers wise, because let's imagine best case scenario. Okay. Best case scenario, your market's on fire. Like your marketplace is doing great. I'm making like $30 an hour every time I go out. Something's going to give. Here's what I mean by that. So when I started my side hustle in 2015 with those ride share platforms with Uber and Lyft, I kid you not. I was making bank, man. I drive Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Let's see, at least $100 a day. So let's say, I think like $400 to $600 a weekend. It was absolutely doable working part-time hours on that weekend. Killing it. I'm talking like $40, $50, $60 an hour, upwards of, 60 to 80 on major holidays like Halloween and New Year's. It was crazy. But something's got to give. Is it going to be the platforms, which is what happened? Pay decreased, competition increased from other drivers, competing apps, Uber and Lyft going at it with pay decreases. Okay. So I always tell you, you got to follow the money. And I would not invest, listen to this. I would not invest too much in assets if you plan on doing this full time, AKA, let's say a vehicle, right? Because there were stories in 2015, 2016, 2017 of those who would invest in a brand new vehicle for rideshare and honestly got burned because of it. So speaking of your vehicle could be the thing that gave out. I mean, if you've been here for years, you saw my Dodge Caliber blow up on the San Diego highway, right? The engine just basically blew up, and that was my biggest asset. I had to make a pivot. That car was paid off. And then I had to get my current vehicle, a Volkswagen Passat. There's a new car payment, man. That's a new liability. So think about that if you do want to do this more for the long term. Nextly here, so what apps or gigs do you have in mind? Let's take a sip of coffee here. Let me know again where you're watching from, what questions you have. Kevin, I see you in here. DW in the live stream today. Or again, if you're watching on the rebroadcast, let me know down below in the comments. All right. So what apps or gigs do you have in mind? I mean, there's a lot. We're just going to go for it. So you have DoorDash, Uber Eats, Grubhub. We have Amazon Flex, Shipt, Instacart, Lime charging, Bird charging. We have, I think I already said Amazon Flex. Yeah, Shipt, we said that. Rover, TaskRabbit. I mean, you get it, right? What is that other one? Roadie. We have Surveys, which actually is a pretty good semi-passive stream. We have survey taking with user testing and Respondent. That's going to be coming up here to the channel as well. A comparison of those two. There's a lot. So what apps are you considering? So here's why I say that. I mean, there may be some, maybe I said some actually. Let me know if I said any that you're like, whoa, what is that? What's Rover? What's user testing? What's Roadie? There may be some that I said that you never even knew existed, and it could be a revenue stream. Here's Shipt, right? It's a grocery and daily essential on-demand delivery service, competitors to Instacart. So here's a delivery I did earlier this year. For two of those deliveries that I did not have to shop for, they're called delivery only orders on Shipt. You can see averaged $31.26 per run. Obviously it's only 2 runs, but remember, follow the money. You get activated, you have it as an option. And I guarantee you, I remember this, these runs took less than an hour, which means, yeah, I'm making 31 an hour plus basically. 4, well, yeah, dude, how long did you have to drive? I did not have to drive far at all. In Pittsburgh, they're short runs. So remember, leave no stone unturned, as they say. Keep your options open, because I'm telling you, there may be some options where some options that you just aren't aware of. And honestly, other people aren't aware of, that are fantastic options that are flying under the radar in your marketplace. Well, speaking of your marketplace, what are the best apps in your marketplace? So maybe you didn't know this, but you could be thinking, well, the best app in my I don't know, Uber, DoorDash. But did you know that with everything going on here in 2020, DoorDash saw a huge influx of new Dashers? Since the first stay-at-home orders went into effect in mid-March, this is 2020, through September, 1.9 million new Dashers joined the platform. This is in the United States only. And this is officially from DoorDash's blog. So, I just assume DoorDash is the #1 food delivery app, dude. I don't know. Well, I mean, I asked you, this was earlier in the year, and I said, well, what's better to drive for? 74% of respondents out of 3,400 here on the team, they said DoorDash. But that does not mean, again, that there's not opportunities on Uber Eats. And we've been seeing fantastic opportunities on Grubhub as well. Really one-off orders that are paying $15, $25, maybe even $30+ for a single run on Grubhub. So I've always said it's free to get activated, folks. I mean, it's literally free. Get activated. You have the option, even if you don't drive on it, that's okay. So nextly here, and again, folks, we're going over 13 questions that you need to answer before you start a side hustle. So if you know someone that is looking at starting a side hustle, share this video. If they're just starting, share this video if you're getting value here. So have you done any research on how to succeed? Like literally, do you know how to dominate on DoorDash, on Uber Eats, on Shipt, on Instacart? So here, I'm going to simply invite you to, again, subscribe here. If you're new here, you haven't subscribed, to join the team here. Because, you may not know how to maximize your earnings to be in the top 15% of driver earners. And here's something that I want you to do. If you are new and you're looking at the food delivery space specifically, I constructed an over hour-long, really, what's the word for it? Speed run. I was going to say it's a speed run to the best practices of mastering delivery platforms. That is what the course is called, Mastering Delivery. It's at yourdrivermike.com. That website is linked down below in the description. If you want that speed run, if you want the fastest way to learn the best practices, because if you don't even know the basics, the best practice, sure, you can cherry pick videos here. There's like 700 videos, dude. There's great tips in all of these videos, but if you want the meat and potatoes, like I'm not watching 700 of these dudes' videos. I wouldn't either. You're busy. I'm busy. But if you want the fast track, go to yourdrivermike.com/delivery. It'll take you right to that course there. Take that course. You'll learn the basics of mastering food delivery platforms. And again, if you are enjoying this video, if you're getting value, definitely drop a like as well. So as we get closer to landing the plane here today, some real business questions that, again, if you're new, I didn't know this. Chances are if you're new to the side hustle space, you're not going to know this. Do you understand your tax deduction options? That you can write off things like your business miles when you have a passenger on Uber and Lyft, when you're taking a run, or you've been assigned an order on DoorDash, on Grubhub, on Shipt, whatever it is, right? As you're driving to make that delivery, what have you. Did you know that if you visit our wonderful, I'm plugging away, aren't I? If you visit our Amazon storefront, linked down below as well to get the very best accessories for any side hustle, you can write off those expenses as a business expense. Assuming you're using that 100% for business. If you're using it for personal, for whatever, like you just take a hot and cold bag to like a picnic. I'm not a tax professional CPA. Consult with a tax professional on write-offs, but visit that Amazon storefront. Get a wireless phone car charger. Get the catering bag. Get the pizza bag. If you're interested in YouTube, there's a whole setup in front of me. It's all linked. If you're interested in starting your journey on YouTube, that these are all business expenses. And I've taken, I plan to take probably a couple $1,000s of equipment for my business as far as business expenses for this year's liabilities come tax time. So what I'll also do is I'll link a playlist in the card above with Stephanie McElhaney. She's a friend of mine and a certified financial planner that we really go over this in detail if you wanted to really learn about tax deductions as well. And then nextly, really pertaining to the same thing here, but more so your money. Are you prepared to set money aside for this? Is the biggest wake up call, folks. Can you please just drop a like on this? Can you please drop a like on this video if this is a wake up call? If you're watching this in the background, can you go leave a like on this video? If this is like the biggest aha moment for you right now, can you leave a like, please, on this video? I hear the horror stories of you making like $10,000 this year from gig apps, right? Yeah, I make $10K. I was hustling, I was doing DoorDash, whatever it was, right? I made $10K. you owe taxes on that. So you're an independent contractor. You're a 1099 employee, and you are paid basically gross revenue before taxes and withholdings. Again, not official legal tax advice. I'm not a CPA. But you owe taxes on that gross revenue. So I recommend setting aside about 20 to 30% of the income paid from any of these gig apps for taxes. And again, consult with your CPA, but you may want to pay quarterly taxes as well. So consider that as well. So I got two more here for you folks. Question 12 and 13, the most critical questions of starting a side hustle. This is really full circle. We started with, hey, how do you want to start? And then the middle of, well, how are you going to dominate? To now the end. Again, full circle business strat. You wouldn't start a business without any of these plans and like, I hope we just do well for 30 years. I don't know. So the next question is, what is your exit plan? I don't know. I mean, I was going to make a lot of money and then just stop. I was just going to stop driving one day. Your exit plan. So your exit plan is based on success. So an exit plan is usually, when a company's doing well, their founder, CEO, whatever, has an exit plan of selling the company, getting a lot of profit, what have you. So your exit plan, if you're doing really well, then what? What I would do is I would try to transition from the active revenue streams to combining more semi-passive revenue streams when you can work really on the business, not so much in the business. Selling, again, the product, the course, whatever it is, really leaning into affiliate income, something like that. Because what's the alternative? Think about this, seriously. What's the alternative? The alternative is solely working active revenue streams, the gig economy, right? And you have to pay taxes on it. There's no benefits, by the way. We didn't mention that. So if you're doing that full time, you have to pay for your own benefits, healthcare, vision, whatever. So we talked about something's going to give. So I'm looking out for your sustainability. I'm just telling you, I'm looking out for your endurance, your sustainability here. So think about the what's next for you. Think about, and your own endurance here as far as your workload. And again, making the business structure there of your exit plan. All right. So finally, as we land the plane on today's training, a seemingly similar question, but it pertains to something else. What if this doesn't work? So an exit plan, remember, I mentioned, is based on success. I'm doing great. Then what? How can I transition the business to something else that still makes me the numbers I don't want to hit, but maybe in a different way that lessens the burden on myself, the vehicle in this sense, building something else. And we didn't mention this, not relying on something else like DoorDash, Uber, Grubhub, because what happens? Like Postmates, right? What happens if I was like, I love Postmates. Postmates was my thing. Postmates was acquired by Uber. Now, obviously you can transition that profile and drive, but Amazon restaurants, right? I specialize in this app. Amazon restaurants closed down. So remember that of really controlling the controllables. So this one though, what if it doesn't work? So again, the prior was based on success. This is based on backup plan. What happens if it doesn't work? Because I'll leave you with this, is I did not have a backup plan when I moved to San Diego. And I'll link a video in the card above about, we did one recently on quitting things that aren't working. So I'll link that or another video up above in a card, but I didn't have a backup plan. I'm talking about a backup plan for you personally and professionally. You know, they always say you should really have 6 months worth of revenue in the bank account for an emergency and or an emergency fund. And we've seen that maybe 60 some percent, I believe was a number recently reported, 60 some percent of Americans have a savings fund, but 30, I think the figure was 39%, cannot cover an unexpected expense of $1,000. And folks, when I didn't have a backup plan, when I was working for a startup in San Diego, and that startup didn't have a backup plan because they went under. And it was my mistake of not quitting, which is what I talked about in that other video, that caused me to pretty much literally go down with the sinking ship, ignoring the red flags as I saw month after month others bailing ship because they saw the red flags, which I ignored, and I did not have a backup plan. What did that do? It's caused me, once that company went under, to be left high and dry, owed $4,000+ in back pay that the company literally couldn't pay because they had no money. So, I mean, what happened? It sucks for you, dude. Company went under. We can't pay you. Like, they literally can't pay you. And then there's secondary effects to that. You miss rent 1 month, which I did. You know, I can barely afford like groceries. I'm buying like the value packs, man. I'm putting $5, $3 at a time in my gas tank because that's all I could afford because I had no backup plan. My credit score took a hit. It was nice and solid, I think, before I left in like the mid sevens or like 720, I think it was, or whatever it was. It got crushed. And now it's back into the 700s, you know, because I took control of my revenue, of my business, etc. But you need a backup plan. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to speak from experience because I have been there. And it took those years to rebuild some of that damage that, I mean, wasn't my fault. You know, it's my fault not leaving, but I mean, the company going under, I mean, that is the volatility of the startup. So I want to leave you with that because I commented recently on a comment that said, like, dude, we shouldn't be putting all of our eggs in one basket. That old adage, especially when it comes to your money, especially. So I currently have backup plans. I have reserve funds and I want you to as well. So your next step, what I want you to do is, again, if you're not a team member right now, I want you to subscribe right now. Join a team of over 50,000, again, reaching hundreds of thousands of individuals, motivated individuals like yourself. And on your way out, if you could leave me a like as well, really appreciate it. And if you did get value in this video, definitely, again, drop me a like. And you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you. And I'll see you in the next one.